well, spring is sprunging and it sprung up on me quicker than normal. Like it's usually the way you spend the winter time doodling around the shed trying to keep warm and trying to get organised. But now, anyway, here we are in spring and the bloody bees are getting all excited and there's a few little swarms. We've already caught a couple here. And I just thought, well, we might as well show you setting up to catch some swarms. We're going to head down to the cooler country that's probably another 3 weeks away before they get excited. And I don't know, I've gone through the swarm catching ideas. I've had the blooming oils and the special, swarm attractors and doodly-ar things you hang in your blooming thing and spreading oil and shit everywhere. And then I've had old boxes sitting around here that I've been cleaning up and the bees seem to like them better. And I realise there's a few disease issues with old boxes, but hell, I don't know. As long as they've died out from just blooming getting starved out and not have some crappy bloody foul brood or some shit that's bad. These girls have been obviously overrun with the moths after they passed on. You know, I haven't actually seen any diseases, so my plan is I've got some crappy old boxes that really are out of commission. They've moved to the point where they're sort of on the way out the door, and I figure we're going to lay them out, catch some swarms, let the swarms be in there until they start laying some brood, and then we'll check the brood, and if they're all healthy, we'll put them in some decent boxes. We've got these poor unfortunate old boxes that are been out of commission a little bit. And we've got some, whoop, don't mind the lamb's wool. That one's probably not ideal. And we've got some old comb that's still in there. So I figure if we clean up these few wax moths that are all dried up and dead anyway, and then we're gonna take the box down to our swarm catching area, and they're all by themselves, so I figure if we catch a few swarms and we keep them by themselves until we make sure they're all good, seems like a plan to me. So we'll get down to this box down here. Oh, and we'll give it a bit of a clean out. Get rid of these crappy frames and clean the crap out the bottom. That might not be real good. I don't think we'll catch any bees in this box. This is actually a blooming honey carrying box. Ah, man. What's that sticker? Don't follow me, I'm going fishing. Don't follow me, I'm going bee catching. I should have a sticker on me truck, shouldn't I? I would be amazed. This is the bit that amazes me about this beekeeping carry-on, is it just takes so damn long. The other day I was down checking out some bees that I'm working on, and next thing you know, the sun's going down and I'm thinking, man, oh shit, it's an hour drive to get home. Just as well the lad was cooking dinner, otherwise I would have been in all sorts of strife. But it's very therapeutic though, keeping bees. So if you've got a, well, no, I shouldn't say if you've got an anxiety problem you should get some bees, because it just depends. But if you just get a few of them, they're very therapeutic and you get lost in what you're doing. And there's every box you open, there's another challenge. So it's like, poof. So some of these boxes are a little bit beyond repair, so I figure they're going to make good catching boxes. Although this box is going to be a bad representation at all. Our first box had no hole. And this box, has got a little bit too many holes. So it's like, hey, wait on. We'll go and get a different one. Oh my goodness me. That's going to have to go in the repair room. That's not even good for a swarm catching box, that thing. Otherwise the swarm will go in there and the blooming ants will come and eat them. So, just as well we've got a couple to pick from. Come over here. So we'll give this one a try and see what we can find. Ah! Right, that's looking a bit more respectable. Beautiful. Now, if you were, if I was using this, like I've got some that I'm actually fixing up, and then obviously you clean them up, give them a paint, scorch out the inside, get it all nice and happy. But it seems a little pointless if I'm going to put old frames in this old box. It seems a bit pointless to get too carried away cleaning them up. And for some reason, if you have an old box, they seem to love it better than if you have a beautiful clean white box with all the lovely fresh paint, because they come along and they go, oh, that doesn't smell like a bee, and bugger off to somewhere else. They end up in a tree somewhere. So the plan is we get our old box and we scrape all the moths and crap out of it, Now this isn't going to be their forever home, by the way. Now these have been a bit out of commission for a little while, and they've been had their moth treatment. So we haven't. If you've got an old box and it's full of moth eggs, don't do this bit. All right, you still want to burn them out or gas them out. Make sure, or stick them in the freezer. That's always good if you've only got a couple to do. So the idea is, of course, when the scout bee turns up, she comes in there and she frolics around and goes, "Oh, this looks like a house where bees live. I'll go back home and tell everybody else in the swarm that we've found a new house." And push, in they go. Because in the wild, of course, I don't know if you've ever noticed that when you're wandering through the forest and you go to a bee tree, it's not always the same bees that were in there last summer. Because quite often they'll die out during the season and then a new swarm will come in and they do the same thing. They go, "Oh, here's some stuff already established." So my theory is to recreate nature in a way. Anyway, that's my idea and it seems to work. Like I said, I've tried a lot of other things. I've tried a whole heap of stuff and new bee boxes, new bloomin' foundation, fancy ass swarm catchy bloomin' stuff, and I don't know, whatever the scents were, lemongrass, and put some lemongrass in there one time. That was fun. You'd have a crappy old bee box there that was sitting there doing nothing and it was all a bit beshabbled, and they'd go in that. So, I don't know, experience is an interesting teacher. Now this is the point of dilemma. I'm not really sure whether to waste new wax, all my good wax, on these crappy old frames, because if we catch a swarm and then we have to jolly destroy it all, that'd be an awful waste, won't it? Tell you what, we've just put a little starter strip at the top, because these old frames are sort of pretty cool with the way they've wired them up. Golly gosh, lad. See, your bench stayed tidy for 5 minutes. Things you do to try and catch a bee, honestly. All these old moth larvae are all dead at least. And they've been treated a bit so the eggs should all be dead. Now we're just trying to decide how much wax to waste on this project. Well, it's not really a waste if we catch them and they're healthy. It's a terrible waste if we catch them and they're unhealthy. A little bit warm last summer. I think they got a little bit of a curvy edge. Anyway, we'll cut one in half. What do you reckon? Let's sit it in there and see what we can do. If you're thinking I'm just being a bit of a scab ass, you know, because I mean there's only one box, but we're doing about 20 or so, or you know, might be a lot more than that if we can have a good run. So I'm just trying to be conservative, but not be too scabby. So anyway, maybe next year I'll be less scabby if we have big success. But we're going to be a bit miserable and cut them in half. What do you reckon? How are we going to do that? Any clue? Usually I cut them in half on my jolly wax installer machine, which we might get to in a minute. We'll just do this bit first and see how we get on. Oh, anybody think I was clever? Don't comment. Okay, I know that's a bit of a fantasy. That's nice, isn't it? God, spend your life raising the child and just laughs at you. Just laughs straight in your face. You know, sometimes I could develop a complex hanging around with you. Just as well I'm thick-skinned. Look, we've got 3 or 4 scouts wanting to get in our box already and we haven't even got in the field. Well, blooming hell, Harry. They're keen as mustard. So I've been using my little stencil to brand me boxes. Even got my little bush bee man on there, which is kind of cool. And I'm not really sure if everybody asks me what MBC stands for. It's only because it was my last choice and I can't remember on the drunken evening that I applied for it. Bloke should have just made it his initials, but anyway, that would have been way too sensible. It could be my bush bee, anyway, doesn't matter. I'm sure someone will dream up some cool shit for me. Anyway, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make up a little bit of an extra mount to have the blooming stencil held a bit easier, because you hold that on the box and you get your blooming hands all covered in black paint. So we'll find out whether that's a good idea or a stupid idea. So my plan is I'm just going to cut some bits of wood and I'm going to put that so that I can hold that on the box. So I'm hoping that I can actually hold the thing a bit easier like that. So I'm actually having a thought about that. Maybe we don't need to cut that at all. Maybe we'll just nail the bloody thing straight onto this bit of wood. That's not such a silly idea. We might just stick it straight on there. And then it'll just be held there with that bit. Then I can get my pokey stick. Okay, hold that thought. We're going to try that first. I think now I'm on a different train of thought. I reckon I'm just going to use one of these crappy top bars that I've got. So if I get one of them, just do that, I reckon, because that other wood might be a little bit excited. I reckon. That will work. And then we'll have a thing there. So do you reckon we put two? And then we'll see if we can get ourselves in trouble. Yeah, if I've got a little tiny nail, that'll be the next thing. I don't know, I just don't like getting my bloody fingers all painted up. Well, I guess the worst thing that can happen is we'll just have to take it back off again. I haven't even got the claw hammer to drive the nail in with, so I don't get told off. If you're doing this at home and you aren't constricted by time, go down the shop and get the right length nails. That would be a good idea. Oh, damn it. That was a great plan, but it didn't work. I snapped the jolly thing. Ah, poop. Right in a knot. Maybe we'll just try it like that. But of course, now Bright Sparks made it for a left-handed person. So I'm going to have to spray paint with my left hand rather than my right hand. Maybe I've drawn them upside down. Oh, damn it! Ah, it's going to annoy the shit out of me. I can't have it like that. That will be terribly annoying. Probably should have checked that out before I bent them over to you, shouldn't I? Oh, come off it, bloody ruffian. Honestly, it's supposed to save me from myself. Some enthusiastic beaver bent the bloody nails over. Ah, God. Anyway, if you're following along at home, don't forget to make it for the right. If you're left-handed, this is a perfect instruction video. If you're right-handed like me, it's be a pain in the butthole. Of course, now when you're making a brand holding stick, you've got to consider the fact that you're going to want to hold the stick in your left hand, if you're right-handed, so you can spray with your right hand. Or if you happen to be left-handed, you want to be able to hold it with your right hand so you can spray with your left hand. So just keep that in the footnotes when you're watching the instructions. Do as I do, don't do as I've seen to be shown. What's that comment dads always make? Do as I tell you, don't do as I do as I say. Something like that. I think that's the one. Do as I say, don't do as I do. At least I've got it on the right hand, so I can use my right hand and my left hand to hold it, my right hand to spray. Mind you, it wouldn't matter, but I suppose I just like to be this way around. We'll go out and we'll mark our couple of swarm catching boxes and then on to the next excitement. Sometimes these old boxes don't like the new paint. But anyway, I guess you can make that out, can you? MBC. I was just thinking MBC could be Master B. Don't know. What goes with C? Anyway, maybe I'll have to reapply and get a different letters. Change something up. Anyway, that's the plan. We've got our swarm catching box all ready to rock and roll. We're going to put our other frames in there, put the lid on, and then pop them somewhere to catch a swarm. Well, we just had a swarm call out to Loxton North, but that didn't pan out too flash, and we've come back here to the yard just to do our inspections, and we've found our own little swarm hanging in the tree. But of course it wouldn't be real helpful, it's up the bloody top of one of these stupid pine trees, so I don't know, come over here and have a look. Oh dear. How tall are you, lad? Do you reckon I can stand on your shoulders? Or are we going to need to go and get some sort of ladder? I think we do have to try and catch them, otherwise they'll bugger off and then they'll be gone, and that'll be no good to anybody. Oh, golly. This is inconvenient splitting. Anyway, I think we better go and get a ladder. I don't think I could climb the tree and be that clever. Oh, man. I think we might have to plant some short trees. Oh, God. Now, you know what? It wasn't that long ago when I used to get all excited about catching a swarm. Now I'm just like, oh, golly. It's just added into the life. Get in there, you little stinker bum. If it falls out, I think I'm going to blame you. Oh, Joe. They will sit this in the tree and then we'll get the suit on to catch the little darlings. Oh, come on, don't go with that bloody ute, you piece of rubbish. Yeah, this could get very interesting in the bee yard. Help. It's not much of a tree, is it? If I don't kill myself, it'll be a miracle. Oh, God. Oh, I didn't think this through very well, did I? I think I'm just going to go and put my suit on because I'm not that big a hero. I just about guarantee this is going to go poorly. Oh, I was just going to get some snips because I thought that might be an option. Because they've been up there a little bit, so they'll have the scent on that branch. But I don't know. There we go. Safely stored on the other side of the ute. Anyway, we'll see if I can get up there and not get stung. I know I could be brave enough and do it without a suit on, but it looks a bit precarious up there. But not as afraid as I could be, so I'm somewhere in between. We can't cut the jolly pine trees down now either because we got a pine nut the other day, so we're finally starting to get a crop. Not that we got too many kernels out of the pine cones yet, but still. Here we go. Say a prayer. Hopefully we can get up there without doing ourselves a damage. Oh, mate. Changed my mind.
What?
I'm sending you up there. You got your safety boots on today, you'll be right. I think I'm just going to have to snip the branch off and drop it in that box and hopefully they'll all sort of stay together for a bit. That's my plan at this moment in time. What do you reckon? I think it's going to be rather interesting because I reckon they're all off. Most of the bees are all off foraging. But I don't know, because it's not a very big nest. There we go. Did you pay that life insurance? Hope you did. You probably upped it now. Oh, golly. How the hell am I going to get back down with that full of honey box full of bees? What the hell? Where are you, chicks? I can't even see you out here. Where the hell are we, John? Well, there's one way out there right itself. Shit! No! That is a little bit hectic.
What's going on?
Oh, I'm leaning a ladder against the top of a tree. That's what's going on. It's not very sensible. Oh, golly. Nobody knows the troubles our bees have seen. They're like, what the hell happened here, our bush bee man? Oh. Golly, gosh. I'm down. Holy shit. Having just a little nervous attack here. That looks a bit naughty, doesn't it? Sticking out the box. Maybe we'll just have to give it a little bit of a trim. We'll just chop that bit off. They're not sure whether they thought that was a good idea or not. Happy birthday to you. Looks like a little bit of candles. I was just thinking we could invent our own little pine tree bee brush. Yeah, there's no one else up there. I don't want to go back up there again. Now they're going to settle on the other branch, of course. Yeah, of course, all the field bees are going to return to that site. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I suggest that we just leave that sitting there for a minute and we'll go and have a play with this other bit of excitement that we've got to do, these last few boxes we need to inspect to get ready for tonight, and then I guess we'll come back here and we'll see what this swarm's decided to do. Hope that bloody magpie didn't eat the queen. When we got here this morning, there was a magpie flying through the blooming bee yard eating bees. So if we just might luck, that swarm lost its queen to the magpie and didn't know where it was. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I'll try to think positive. Sort of hover around that box there a bit. I'm just watching them here on top of the mesh here, and it looks like the scouts are coming back and having a little wiggle around trying to tell everybody, oh, I think I found a new place to live. And everybody's saying, oh, I think we might be going to find a new place to live without all that effort. And he's going, come with me, come with me. And they say, no, we can't, we're stuck under this mesh. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if they do a wiggle dance to tell them. I don't know. I suppose that would be how it would work. That's how they tell about all the other foraging. So one would assume that would be the same method to tell them that they found a new home. Hopefully they'll be happy in the home we give them. So it's already got a little bit of honey stores from, we've got a hive over here that lost their queen during the winter, and so they might as well have that box. Even though it's not a real strong hive, so they can do with a head start. Well, just for entertainment, we thought we'd try a new idea and shake them outside of the box and let them walk in, because apparently that makes them less likely to abscond, but there's been some conversation here in the bee yard as to whether they might abscond once we jolly well just shake them in the open. They might all bugger off back up the tree. But anyway, come along and we'll find out what's the best approach, whether the dump or shake method is the best idea. But anyway.
Hey-chaw, puffin stuff.
Oh dear, John.
The things we do, honestly.
And then I reckon I've got a little underneath board here. We'll sit this out the front. So they're not sitting completely on the dirt.
Do you have something white so we can actually see the bees?
White? Bloody hell. God, he doesn't want much, does he, this bloke? Honestly, hang on, hold that thought. Yeah. God, bossy today. Go that way. Get me a white top. Get on with it. Honestly. Well, are you happy? Now wait. Stop it with the dirt. Bloody hell. They all fly away, I'm charging you. Anyway, I suppose it'll work. Well, there we go. That's one way to get your bees in a box without all the crap that you pick up, so you just leave it on the outside. We might just give them a little bit of smoke to send the rest of them inside. Come on chicks, go in there and find the rest of your friends. Off you go, homeward bound. There was probably more in that swarm than we thought. That's not a bad little exercise. Anyway, that'll make them all go inside, won't it?